Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Small Business Edge Spotlight series, where we talk to real life business owners about what they're doing and what we can learn from them. My name is Brian Moran. I'm CEO of Small Business Edge. Today, I want to welcome Nieves Chanthasoto to the spotlight. She is the founder and CEO of Ledger Lanes, a financial management and business support company based in New York and New Jersey that she started in 2019. And I'm really excited to hear her story. So welcome to the Small Business Edge Spotlight, Nieves Chanthasoto.
Hi, Brian. Thank you for welcoming me, and I look forward to this opportunity and share my experience, especially in 2020, from the time that I established my business in 2019.
Yeah, this is great. So Nieves, help me out here. So you spent over 2 decades at these big Wall Street firms, right? In financial operations. What made you say, okay, I'm going to go start my own business in New York and New Jersey?
So first of all, my 20-year of experience from financial services was the most amazing experience. I've learned a lot,
Right.
and I would like to share and apply my skills outside of financial services and um, learn some opportunities from commercial, from the government, and even nonprofit organizations. So I'd like to explore, meet some other entrepreneurs from
Right.
small to business size and learn from each other how we operate our businesses and help grow the economy. My mission in establishing Ledger Lanes is to promote women and minority businesses.
Oh, great, great. Well, that's so. Did you just kind of like wake up and say, okay, I'm going to start my own? I mean, was this always a dream of yours to start your own business?
Yes, it was a
Wow.
dream.
Well, you picked a pretty interesting time. So you started in late 2019, and then the whole world goes upside down in 2020. So as a new business owner, what are some lessons that you learned this year operating a business in a pandemic?
Well, I've learned a lot, but
Good.
and I'm sure all of us learned a lot. But the top of my list are number one, as a startup company, is to set aside capital reserves for emergency use.
Yeah, great idea.
At least 6 months to 1 year's worth of capital would be ideal. And number two is to be very, very conservative with your forecast in your revenue.
Right. And I love that. I don't know that 6 months to a year is realistic for most businesses, most startup businesses, but I do like the idea of using that as a goal, right? I mean, that's not something that you need to have the day you start your business, right?
Ideally, if you can,
Right. Well,
as
I
part
keep
of
playing
your
the lottery.
planning.
I keep playing the lottery. I just can't seem to get that Powerball number.
Ideally, if you can, yes.
Yeah.
But in future, for future, startups, if you can think wider, have an open mind about, challenges that we currently face right now.
Right. And you're 100% correct. That if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's you got to have a backup plan, right? So
Yes.
that your expectations are, oh, I'm going to sell $1 million worth of product or my services, and then you sell 50,000, and then all your projections get thrown out the window, right? I mean, they're irrelevant. So
Yes.
I do like the idea of being conservative with your goals. That's
Hmm.
that's a great piece of advice. What are some of the things that you're looking at in 2021? Like, what are some of your own business goals for next year?
So, continuing from your prior question, what are the lessons that I've learned? Is weakness in marketing. So, as part of my new strategy in 2021,
Mhm.
is to concentrate on increasing my digital presence. A lot of us will be working from home
Right.
virtually for the next
Right.
4 to 6 months. And I'd like to introduce my business more effectively through online webinars or videos, for example.
Mhm.
Another goal is to collaborate more with other businesses and find some functions that we can align and save some costs.
I like it. You definitely think differently in a lot of ways than I do, because I think you mentioned cost in every sentence, which is great. Which is, and obviously, I'm sure that your clients appreciate, you having their back like that, because when COVID hit, there it was like entering uncharted territory. And so, do I go this way, do I go that way, do I invest in my business, do I save my money? I'm sure a lot of business owners came to you asking those types of questions, right? So in looking back at 2020, what were some of the biggest financial mistakes that you saw business owners making?
Um, Number one is they are not up to date with their financials, their balance sheet and income statement.
Yeah.
I've had some clients who did not complete their, you know, financial transactions for 1 or 2 years. And just to give you an example, I
Uh-huh.
had a client who had an investor who wanted to buy her business, and she did not have her official books and records for 1 or 2 years.
Wow.
So yeah, and also with the stimulus package that we are hopefully gonna get,
Hmm.
we'd like to be prepared. We have all our financials ready in place in any
Right.
other purposes that we may need. So yeah, keep it up to date.
That's a great point. Obviously, if you haven't paid your taxes in the last year or 2 years, you probably didn't get a stimulus check, right?
Yes, yes. So yeah,
And it's hard to
be on
get
top
any
of
kind of
that.
loan. You can't get a
Yes,
loan for your business if your financials aren't in order. And
yes,
that doesn't give a whole lot of confidence in the people who are lending you the money.
yes. Other mistakes that I've found from my clients, they purchased big items.
Right.
Like they invested in big furnitures. So, if you're starting, for example, start small and expand as you grow. Um, Other items that I've seen from my clients in making, I mean, some mistakes that they've had, they mix their personal and
Uh,
business transactions
yeah.
in their
Yeah.
credit
Yeah.
cards or bank statements. So
Yeah.
you need to have a good assessment of your business. You have to try to separate them. And another important thing is having a business liability insurance in
Oh, yeah.
place.
Yeah, actually, it's all great advice.
Yes,
And you're 100% right about that. Don't commingle your funds. I mean, that just it becomes such a maze for your bookkeeper and your accountant to try and figure
yes,
out what's business, what's personal. So great advice.
yes.
So what are you telling your clients now in 2021, as far as financial management and looking at their business?
Well, the election result will have bigger role in how businesses will be impacted.
Hmm.
So, try to learn as much as you can, be on top of the news that are going out there and see how it applies to your business.
Right. Economic indicators.
Yes,
Right? Yeah.
yes. And other thing is in 2020, we've seen an increased cyber attacks. It escalated.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be very careful with how you handle secure data, especially accounts of your clients. Um, Make sure that you back up your files and try to get a lot of like get certified like me. I've attended some cybersecurity awareness that
Mhm.
were offered out there, and it's very helpful. There's a lot of, I mean, there are a lot of sophisticated attacks out there. Just be prepared.
Right, right. So that's something that you advise clients on, cybersecurity?
Yes, learn from all these threats that are out there
Yeah.
in order to secure your business transactions and to also your clients,
Your confidential data. I've
your
had other
confidential data.
cybersecurity experts talk about hackers. Usually when it comes to small business owners, it's like crime of convenience, that you think about like houses on a street. If you leave your front door open, it's just an invitation for somebody to walk in and steal your furniture. If you shut
Exactly.
your door, that's one measure of security. Then if you lock your doors and you lock your windows, it's a little bit harder for them. And they say, you know what, I'm just going to go on to the next house because I can see that his door's open. And it's
Yes,
and
yes.
so yeah, to your point, I think even a basic level of cybersecurity is critical for any business, but especially one that's handling either confidential data, financial data, or sensitive data. You
Mhm.
definitely have to have increased levels of security, right?
Yes.
And you should also probably have a pretty good insurance policy just in case something happens, right?
Hmm. Yes.
Um, so all right, now we've covered your business, and I'm thrilled to hear about how well you're doing and how your business is going. And I appreciate your advice to our listeners for 2021. I'd like to end it on just, we're coming up to the end of 2020. Give me 2 or 3 reasons why somebody should call you right now for help with their business. What would you tell
Well, first of all, be on top of your financial statements.
them? Okay.
See your accountant, for example, or see me, and analyze your spending for 2020.
Right.
um, are you prepared for 2021? Do you have a budget in place? And you can't do that unless you know what happened in your business for 2020. So analyze your cash flows. Do you have enough money to fit your budget that we can work on?
Yeah.
And also, because of the stimulus package, do you know what you're going to do? Like, did you get it? Did you take advantage of PPP loans in 2020? Do you know what you're going to do with it? Are you going to apply for forgiveness? So these are the things that you need to
Right.
be
Is
prepared
is it
for.
tax deductible? Right now there's so much back and forth on that, right? So
Correct.
that, yeah, you paid for, the PPP paid for employee salaries and utilities and mortgage, but those are typically things that you expensed in your
Yeah.
taxes.
Yeah.
And now I don't think it's changed yet. I know it's a lot of back and forth in Congress, but that's not going to be deductible. And so that's going to take away from your ability to deduct those expenses. So your points are so well taken, Nieves,
Thank
that
you.
that no, I mean, this is the heart of what it means to run a successful business, right? You have to stay on top of your financials. And I've heard you say that a couple of times. You're 100% right. Know your receivables, know your payables, play the what if game, right? What if this receivable doesn't come in? How is that going to affect my payables? What if we lose a large client? What if we need a loan? Are we in a position to get a loan? So many great takeaways, and I appreciate that. And I know our listeners and our viewers will appreciate it as well. So, okay, we're in the home stretch now. I heard speak today with Brian on Small Business Edge Spotlight. How can I get in touch with Nieves Chanthasoto from Ledger Lanes?
Well, you can visit my website, ledgerlanes.com, and you can submit your contact information or email me at nievesc@ledgerlanes.com. So, yeah, get to know
That's
my website. It's got all the information, and I hope to meet you someday.
great. And then tell Nieves that You heard about her through our Small Business Edge Spotlight.
Yes.
So she sends me a basket of flowers.
Yes, and of course, but I would like to end this by saying that, there are a lot of opportunities out there. Don't be afraid. Go conquer the world. And, we are all in the same situation, but let's help each other. Whether you're in a private company, especially for big businesses.
Yeah.
Let's help each other, help the small business. The minority businesses are suffering right now, but
Yeah.
we look forward for 2021 to be a bright future for all of us.
Well, I know that I'm going to have you back on our spotlight in about 6 months, because I'm going to do, let's check in with Nieves and see how her business is going, how her clients' businesses are going. And I definitely want to keep in touch. So, Nieves, thank you so much for being on our Small Business Edge Spotlight. You were fantastic. I'll provide all of the resources at the bottom of the page so people can get in touch with you. And we'll have all our key takeaways on there as well. And for everybody, remember what Nieves said. You can go out and you can conquer the world, but you can't do it on a shaky foundation. Get all your financial statements and all your financial ducks in a row, and be in a position, whether it's an emergency or an opportunity, that you'll be able to take advantage of it. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching and spending some time with us today. And we look forward to seeing you on the next edition of the Small Business Edge Spotlight.